Hello everyone, I am Roman Empire, your host, commentator, MC, take it as you will. And we are in part 2, aka episode 2 of MFW, that's right, part 2 of our flagship show Warzone, and we're kicking off with women's division action. We promised you the other contender for the Multiversal Women's Championship would be named on this part of Warzone, and we're kicking off with that as Captain Marvel, arguably one of the biggest names from the Marvel side today, from recent fame. She'll be going one-on-one, and the winner of this matchup will go up against She-Hulk, who we saw win an 8-woman battle royal on part 1 of Warzone to earn her spot for the championship match. Winner of this match go one-on-one with She-Hulk for the Multiversal Women's title at Flashpoint. That's right, our first pay-per-view will take place very soon, right after the first episode of Fight Night as well. And that is because we need to establish many of our champions. Our mainstay champions have not been named because all titles are vacant. And that means anyone who ends up with a strap around their waist will have earned it through in-ring competition. Nobody will be handed championships. Inaugural champions will be named via competition. And here she is, her competitor, opponent in this match, Wonder Woman, arguably the biggest name in DC Comics when it comes to women's division action, and she is arguably the most famous superheroine, period. There is not a person, I think, alive who does not know the name Wonder Woman, even if they're not a fan of comic books, and especially, obviously, in recent years, films having come out and this resurgence of popularity, one of the biggest names, period, going up against one of the more recently discovered big names of Marvel. Captain Marvel versus Wonder Woman. Winner of this matchup will face She-Hulk once again. Cannot reiterate that enough. This matchup puts these two not just in contention for bragging rights over who's the dominant female, but potentially leads their path to becoming the champion. Test of strength here, pushing Wonder Woman into the corner. Clean break though. And now a headlock. Now, from our first episode, you remember a lot more brutal opening, high-impact moves from some of our matchups, especially with rivals like Doom and Mr. Fantastic. But here, much more of a test of skill. Oh my god, the power. That tilt-a-whirl toss. People forget often that Captain Marvel is pretty much on par when it comes to raw strength. Very impressive. But as we were saying, it started off with more of a feeling each other out period. That test of skill, strength, speed. Trying to figure out each other's strengths and weaknesses through that chain sequence. As soon as that tilt-a-whirl toss came in, all of that went out the window. And now you're seeing a more brutal offense from both these women. So we have taken it out into the outside here. Already up to a 6 count. Wisely, Wonder Woman getting her opponent back in the ring. Now, Wonder Woman's combat training is different than Captain Marvel's. Now, Captain Marvel more Air Force-based training, hand-to-hand combat. However, Wonder Woman has the advantage of having studied multiple forms of combat, including Greco-Roman wrestling, which means it is entirely possible that she has the advantage in this matchup. Oh! Knee to the face. Wonder Woman in control of this matchup at this point. And that could be what we talked about, that advantage of having that wrestling background. But Captain Marvel fighting back here. Ooh, misses a big splash in the corner, and that could cost her. Wonder Woman back in control. Ooh, big rolling clothesline. And suddenly the whole complexion of the match has changed, as Captain Marvel has shifted momentum in her favor. Similar no-nonsense styles of combat between these two. She's going up top. Could we see it? Shooting star. That's the finish. Could she pull it off? 1, 2. Oh, kicks out at 2. Not enough to put her away. one of the finishing maneuvers of Captain Marvel there, the shooting star. Big sidewalk slam. A sit out there. Wisely, she's trying to stay on top of the offense, not allow Wonder Woman a moment to breathe. That's easier said than done, though. Has her up on the top turnbuckle. Could be going for a high-risk maneuver here. She's got her up. Avalanche. Oh, looked like she was going for fall-away slam, but Captain Marvel fighting out of it here. Oh, cross body. Big reversal, and a very important one, given that would have been a huge impact to take if she had pulled off that avalanche fall-away slam. Captain Marvel now in control, and this could be it. If Wonder Woman's not careful, this is over. She's got her Air Force! 1, 2, 3, and that's it. That's your winner. Captain Marvel will be facing off against fellow Avenger She-Hulk for the Multiversal Women's Championship. That's right, both part of the same stable, the Avengers, and yet still will have to go at it one-on-one. What do we have here? Wonder Woman in the ring. Captain Marvel extending a hand. What a show here of sportswomanship, if you will. Respect between these two competitors. Glad to see it as we get ready for our second matchup. Just a reminder, that means that Captain Marvel will be facing She-Hulk for the Multiversal Women's Championship at Flashpoint. But now we have a fan favorite, AntMan, making his way to the ring for singles action. Now granted, this one could be a tall order. Now there are many who have had theories on Twitter for how AntMan could have simply... excuse me, Siri. No, I'm not talking to you. Apologize. I talked about that shoestring budget we're on. I appreciate the assistance, Siri, but no. People know what I'm talking about. The Twitter theories that Thanos could be defeated by Ant-Man with a certain tactic, which will not be named here, but we're putting that to the test. Ant-Man is in our Multimedia Championship division. That is our singles title for the men. And he can earn a shot here, but he has to go through a man who hopes to earn his way into the Multiversal Championship match. A galactic tyrant. A man who ended billions with the snap of a finger. Thankfully, that gauntlet will be powerless here. Thanos. Even if that gauntlet is powerless, he is no less of a threat in the ring. Ant-Man has, like I said, a very tall order to overcome. It'll be interesting to see if he can do it. But if he does, he will earn his way into a Multimedia Championship match at Flashpoint. If Thanos wins, of course, he will be granted a shot at the Multiversal Championship, which Dr. Doom has already earned. There's no saying that all of our matches for the championships will be singles matches. If multiple people earn shots at the title in this first set of episodes, then they will all be participating for those championships at Flashpoint. And that is what Thanos hopes to do here by defeating Ant-Man. And you got to think he's probably coming in confident, probably assumes he's got this one in the bag, especially with power dampeners in the arena granting very little to no access to many abilities. We'll see if Ant-Man can overcome that. If David can topple Goliath here, as it were. And there's the bell. Oh, already a reversal from Ant-Man, showing some fire, but may not be enough. Using that quickness, that cunning. Ooh, big slap across the chest. You just heard the impact echo. No, big, oh, right hand over the helmet of Ant-Man. You got to think if he was just without that helmet, he could have split his skull with that sheer force. Oh, How he reversed it, I have no idea. Just saw him twist his body in midair from that pop-up into an arm drag. Very impressive from AntMan. He came in prepared. You got to imagine when he found out who his opponent was, he did his homework on how to get around that overwhelming power of Thanos. And he's in control right now. Boot across the face as he wrenches the arm. Looking to try to pry off that gauntlet, it looked like. Maybe trying to get rid of the Infinity Gauntlet off his arm, but he couldn't do it. Going for a quick pin. No surprise there, not even a 2 count. Coming in for a neck breaker. And there's the tackle, and suddenly all it takes is one move and Thanos has the upper hand. Trying to Irish whip, can't even move him. Drop kick to the knee, smart move, trying to take out the base. Those rolling back elbows and forearms, trying to keep him grounded as much as possible. Ooh, but shoved aside like nothing. Ooh, looked like he went for a headbutt, caught the jaw there instead. AntMan doing whatever it takes to stay in this match, to win. Admire the tenacity. Fighting an uphill battle, obviously, against the likes of Thanos. Again, wrenching the arm, trying to wrench off that gauntlet. It's a very interesting strategy, perhaps a mental game here. If Thanos begins to panic about the gauntlet, will that affect his ability to defend himself or put a decent offense into play? Gotta think he'll be very vigilant of the gauntlet now that that's the second time it's been trying to pry it off his arm. A couple of leapfrogs here. Almost as if he's just playing games with Thanos. Another set of leapfrogs. And a third. Almost toying with him. Oh, and the pop-up successful this time. Lands straight on his stomach. Oh, big chop again. Tossing scoop slam, and that's what we're talking about, that power game. Able to just, in a few moves, even all the damage that was done as AntMan pecked away at his opponent. Big European uppercut from that gorilla position. Oh, this could be it. Poor AntMan. Dominator! This has got to be it. This is over. Come on, ref. Just mercifully. Somehow kicks out at a 2. AntMan, I mean, if I were you, I'd just stay down. It seems ill-advised. I think Thanos is probably... Wait a minute. AntMan showing more life than we expected here. Is he... Looks like he set... Oh, it looked like he was going to set up for a finisher there, but Thanos got on the ropes, not allowing him to get him in position for that. Going for these leapfrogs again. Perhaps just trying to frustrate Thanos at this point. Samoan drop. Digging the arm into the shoulder, the trapezius muscle there. Giving it a squeeze. Slowing down his opponent. Probably wise. The speed advantage of AntMan being so quick has been a big part of why he's been able to hang in here so long. Oof, big forearm. Once again floors Thanos. AntMan getting the crowd behind him, but I don't know if he should take his eyes off of his opponent for a second. This is Thanos we're talking about. Going for the arm, but not prying it off this time. It's like a bit of a tangled wrench here. Working over the limbs. Ooh, big boot, but it just didn't land. Full Nelson slam! Just sheer power. Oh, wait a minute, what just happened? Power dampers in the arena, the lights went off for a second. He's behind him. I think AntMan just used his shrinking ability when we lost power for a second there. Hit the downsize, this could be it. 1, 2. Oh, just 2.5, just barely kicks out. hitting that finish off of, I can confirm we lost power for a split second before the backup generators came on. And it looked like in that split second he used his ability to shrink and disappear from that corner and show up behind Thanos. He's setting him up again. Could we see another? He's hit it. Downsized. In for the pin. Could this be it? Upset of the century. 1, 2, 3. I legitimately cannot believe it. AntMan has beaten Thanos clean in the middle of the ring for the 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, AntMan. He has definitely earned his multimedia championship match opportunity. That was... Suffice to say, I don't think anybody was betting on AntMan from the start. But incredible heart, resilience, and tactics. Taking that brief moment where our power dampeners just, I guess, overloaded, used too much energy. And, gotta think, just looking at that last shot, Thanos is probably quite disappointed with himself. Humiliated, embarrassed, but take nothing away from AntMan. That was an incredible win. Using his ability at the most opportune and most vital moment to pick up a huge win. Congratulations, AntMan. We move on. Aquaman, a man who's been the butt of many jokes through the history of comic books, but has had a resurgence as a certified badass with his Queen Mira in his corner. He and his opponent will vie for yet another slot in that Multiversal Championship picture. Winner here will move on to potentially face Dr. Doom and any other opponents who qualify by the end of this night. Leave it at that for a mystery as to who those will be, but they will be in the main event, which will be our last match of the night. After this one, Aquaman, King of Atlantis. He has to have a certifiably and qualified opponent, a high caliber hero, for a Marvel versus DC matchup that will hopefully prove to be a real slobber knocker, as a certain famous announcer, far superior to myself, would say. Power for power, pound for pound, this should be a really epic one-on-one competition. Without further ado, let's introduce who that second man is. Crowd riled up and waiting. This man makes his way to the ring from Asgard, with the telltale Mjolnir on his shoulder. It is Thor. You don't need the spotlight to recognize that silhouette. The god of thunder, weighing in at over 600 pounds thanks to that Asgardian physiology. Arguably the dominant of the two in terms of raw power, if you're just talking pound for pound. However, Aquaman incredibly strong, on par with some of the strongest heroes. These two are not going to disappoint when it comes to the power game. And both with so much on the line here, a potential chance at the Multiversal Championship. No bigger prize on Warzone. God of Thunder versus the King of the Seas. Will Mira be a factor? We've seen on both sides of the coin how that can end up not being a factor at all, and how it could end up deciding a matchup. Can see the determination. Thor does not seem to be showing any fear or trepidation towards his opponent. He is ready. He's in it to win it, as they say. Get ready to start this off. Ref, ring that bell for us. Oh, big forearm shot to start off, and then a shove, and that's what we talked about, that power. just taking someone as strong as Aquaman and just shoving him aside. Even by Aquaman's frame standards, he is a super heavyweight, over 300 pounds of muscle. Tossed him to the ground like nothing. These two back and forth with the power displays here. Irish whip from one corner to the other. Oh, big forearm shot of his own in return. Very similar approaches, more than likely, with these two. Oof, big right hands. Thor so far in control, though, of the offense. Not even a 1 count, going for the quick pin, perhaps trying to wear down and frustrate Aquaman. Fairly even in terms of power, though, so far, it seems. These strikes from Aquaman fighting back into this. Ooh, but a big clothesline floors him in one shot. We're just saying even in terms of power, but you see shots like that, and it's hard not to believe that Thor is simply the powerhouse of these two. Oof! Big slap knocks him into the ropes. That chop across the chest. Oh! Snake eyes. He's being manhandled right now. I think we all expected a more even matchup, but Thor has really dominated. This military press now. Oh, the impact. I'm very surprised so far. Aquaman very little in the way of substantial offense. A few flurries here and there, but Thor has really seemed to be manhandling the King of Atlantis here. Taking him to the ropes. Gotta wonder what's on the mind of Thor here. Oh, went for a back elbow, but just sort of brushed off by Aquaman. Tougher than he looks, certainly. Oh, wait a minute. Standing on the second rope. Setting up for a suplex, it looks like. Apron superplex! Unbelievable. The deadlift suplex over the second rope. Only a 2 count, but wow, what the impressive strength, the raw power, while bouncing on that second rope to just hoist Aquaman off the apron. Very impressive. Aquaman trying to fight back, though, here. Now taking control. He realizes after all the punishment he's taken, he has to do something to keep that control and to keep the offense pressed hard against his opponent. Big clothesline. Not letting up at all. Wise to do so. Got him up for a suplex into a backstabber. His lumbar check style move. A suplex into the knees and the back, and it's only a 2 count. That rise and fall. Doing a hell of a lot of damage to the back, but not enough. Aquaman fighting to get back into this matchup, though, and doing everything he can. Hanging up Thor on that bottom rope now. You could see it. Could see it. Drop kick to the face. Aquaman quickly back in the ring. Could he go for a cover here? Yes, going for the cover. Will it be enough? 1, 2. Oh, 2.5 just short. Not enough to get the 3 count. A far more even matchup now all of a sudden. Aquaman really finding his footing, finding his offense, and taking it to Thor after Thor was essentially dominating the first half of this matchup. So much on the line for both these men here by winning this. So no surprise that they're just absolutely giving it their all. These blow for blow. Tossing him into the turnbuckle there, that turn post. And now neckbreaker on the outside. Already up to a 5 count. Aquaman needs to be careful he's not counted out here. Going for another neckbreaker. Whoa, reversed. Went to the well one too many times. Elbow to the back of the head. Now Thor's in control. Going for that maneuver a second time might have been a fatal mistake here. As Thor's now setting him up. 4. Yep, he's got him up on the shoulders. bringing Thor's hammer down. He's got him up for the pin. 1, 2, 3, and it's over. A valiant comeback effort from Aquaman, but Thor planning Arthur Curry into the mat. You got to think the crucial mistake was the second neckbreaker attempt on the outside. Going to the well one too many times, allowing Thor to reverse it, take control, get Aquaman back in the ring, and land that finisher. Pin him for the 1, 2, 3. Both men put up a hell of a fight. That incredible superplex we just saw, that second rope deadlift suplex. But in the end, Thor victorious. He will be one of the contenders for the Multiversal Championship at Flashpoint. So congratulations to him. Condolences, if you will. Commiserations to Aquaman and Mira. Hell of a fight, though. Neither man has anything to be ashamed of in that matchup. This was that dropkick attempt. Almost had him at the 3 count, but just kicked out at 2. But there's your winner. God of Thunder, Thor. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, come on. What's he doing here? You have nothing to do with this match, Loki. This is breaking down quickly. He doesn't see him, and he's got face buster. Ref trying to get security down to the ring. Mira's in the ring. I think maybe trying to take advantage of this. Wait a minute. What? Are they working together? Face buster. I don't know if this is a alliance of convenience or if this was pre-planned, but Thor seems to be greatly outnumbered here. And it's not helping his chances. Bear in mind, also an Asgardian, Loki weighs over 600 pounds as well. Oh, went for the military press. Drop kick from Mira caused him to drop Loki right onto the back of his own shoulders. This numbers game is absolutely not going to allow Thor to fight back. And, oh, come on. Loki, driver, nails it. This was a meaningless attack. I don't know why Loki had to do this. Could have just waited for his opportunity to shine, but no, had to steal the spotlight from his brother. I'm a little disappointed in Mira for assisting in that. I understand how she feels about Aquaman's loss, but no excuses there. Regardless, we're moving on to our main event. And we have 2 titans of the DC Universe. Rivals, nemesis, if you will, of the highest order. Lex Luthor will be attempting to get a shot at the Multiversal Championship. And you have to imagine, with it being the top title on Warzone, he has something to prove. An advocate that through his own skill, intelligence, strength, work, that he is superior and that humans do not need superhumans to look up to. It would mean the world to him to hold the top brand belt, walk around with it on his waist, able to tell the world that he is the first ever Multiversal Champion. But he has to go through the absolute opposite of that, the epitome of what he cannot stand, and someone he personally cannot stand. Someone who is superpowered, who is not human, who he believes has had to earn none of his power and therefore does not deserve to be admired. But will Lex Luthor be able to overcome his nemesis here and get his title shot? I'm sure you all know who that is now as he makes his way to the ring. The son of the Kents and the last son of Krypton, Kal-El, aka Clark Kent, aka Superman. Superman looks to set an example here in MFW on Warzone by becoming the first ever Multiversal Champion. Epitomizes that in many ways. There are perhaps no character with more alternate universe counterparts than Superman, except perhaps Spider-Man. But we are not in the Spider-Verse right now. We are in Warzone, here in MFW, and Superman will go one-on-one with Lex Luthor for a shot at the Multiversal Championship. That winner will take on, as we just saw, Thor, and from our last episode, Dr. Doom. That will make it a triple threat match at Flashpoint for the Multiversal Championship, the first ever inaugural champion to be decided. Let's waste no more time, ref. Ring that bell so we can get this started. Coming out hot! Big forearm. Lex Luthor wasting no time. And no surprise there, absolutely the aggressor from the outset. Oh, big clothesline takes him out of the ring, though. He may be a Boy Scout to many, but Superman has no love lost for Lex Luthor. Big fall-away slam. Oh, no, hops over. Avoided certain doom on that one. DDT on the outside. This is broken down quickly. Within the first two moves, we're already on the outside. These two brawling, taking each other into the floor. This is what you expect from a matchup with Lex Luthor and Superman, is no forgiveness. Merciless tactics. Wrenching the neck here. You gotta think Luthor wants to slow down a fast, strong opponent like Superman, keeping him grounded. Probably the best strategy you can use to take advantage of him. Keep leverage. Keep the offense on Superman so he can't recover. Oof. Big push off there with the boots to the stomach. Suddenly the whole match shifting in favor of the Kryptonian. That's what we talk about. It only takes one move with somebody like Superman to just flip the switch and change the complexion of a match. Got him hooked up. Oh! Arm drag. Everything of major offense that Superman has attempted, it seems like Luthor has an answer for. He's got him into that Boston Crab. Wrenching the spine. Trying to get Superman to tap. You gotta think that would be a huge, huge boon for Lex Luthor. Something to brag about. If he could get Superman to tap out. Float over, neck breaker. Already setting up for a finish. Could this be an embarrassingly dominant victory for Lex Luthor over Superman? Lexplex! Going for the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Luthor beside himself. Can't believe that wasn't it. Just shows the resiliency of Superman, able to kick out of that finisher. Now it looks like he's rolling him onto his... Oh, the knees into the spine. Going for that submission. Now, this could be a potential downfall for Luthor here. If he's so focused on trying to get his opponent to tap, trying to make him submit, that could be a big factor in the psychological advantage of Superman, able to keep a cool head. And as we see here with that delayed butterfly suplex, plants him. Take advantage of that state of mind, remain calm and collected, and pick up a victory. Oof, tossing him aside with that raw power. See, crowd a bit split on who to cheer for here. Obviously, in recent years, Superman has become sort of a Roman Reigns-esque figure, if you will, John Cena-like. Splits the crowd on who to cheer for. 1, 2, only a 2 count. But just because he's not the gritty Dark Knight or more lethal Punisher does not mean he is not a certified badass in the ring. As we're seeing right now, getting Luthor into that corner. Hoisting him up onto that top turnbuckle. That's right, I said hoisting. Got him up on his shoulders here. What is he thinking? Oh, rolling! Thunder off the top. That's sort of the Smallville plunge, we'll call it. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Both men kicking out everything they've got. The other surprised each time, shocked that it's not the end. But that just goes to show you how much neither of these men want to lose to the other. Luthor trying to return the favor in the corner, but Superman too quick with an answer back. Snake Eyes into the top turnbuckle. Ooh, and a big spine buster. Backing up into the corner, we could see a Superman punch. If he lands this, it could be absolutely over. Blocked! Blocked at the last moment. Luthor might have just saved himself in this match. Only a 1 count on the Northern Lights, but that was an incredibly well-timed reversal of that Superman punch. We don't see this too often from big men, but with Superman going to fly, no surprise, knee to the face. That is the danger of someone like Superman, a heavyweight with the ability to fly like a cruiserweight. Oof! Big slap. Oh, what is he thinking? Going to the outside of the turnbuckle here. Crowd chanting, "This is awesome," and I think it's about to be quite awful for one of these men. Superplex to the outside. Spine first into the floor. That's going to take it out of both men, but just severe damage to the back. Lex Luthor doesn't look like he's really in his right state of mind. Has barely been able to move. Going up top yet again. What is Superman thinking here? Elbow drop to the lower back. That could be it. Just so much damage done to the back and the spine. Referee getting into position. 1, 2, 3. It's over. It is over. Superman with a huge victory over Lex Luthor, but it took everything to get that done. A superplex to the outside, followed by a flying elbow drop to pick up that win, and he will be in the triple threat against Thor and Dr. Doom for the Multiversal Championship at Flashpoint. But first, we have Fight Night coming up, so join us for that. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining us here. I'm so happy you're here. Like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you think, and come back and visit us for another episode.